Okay girls, I'm just going to give you a quick tutorial on your paper pumpkin kit. So when you get it, the instructions will be inside, but I already slid it open and pulled the instructions out to see what ink and stamp set to include with your kit. So this will be on the outside, but no, then I slid it back in. But anyway, so this is your instructions. This is the name of your kits. If you want to look up on YouTube, Stampin' Up! YouTube to find how your kit goes together. But we do have instructions, and I just always found it easier to look at the pictures, but you do you. So I just wanted to go over what certain things are. So on the back it has everything your kit includes, and it doesn't come with a stamp, so I think I've got a stamp for everybody in their kits. Mishi and Kyla, I just gave one and you guys can share, and Llama and Mimi have one and they can share since they will be crafting together. And then I have one for Lillian and Kara, and then I have others I can use that. Anyway, so if y'all can please return my blocks when you're done, that would be great too. And if you don't want your stamp set when you're done with it, you can return it. If you want to keep it and do more things and want to keep your block, please do also. I mean, it's no big deal. If you got one that has etching on it, it says Inking Sunrises, that's from when I was selling Stampin' Up! And my team leader got me that. So that's a little personal, but I don't think I gave one like that to anyone. So the kit is going to have everything. Block, stamp set, your ink. Now, it's a little ink, it's called an ink spot. Some have been opened and some have not. If it's not open, just slice it with some scissors and pop it open. And this one's been a little used, huh? So, ink block stamp set. We're gonna get a stamp here and stamp it. You guys can see. So you're just gonna pull off the one you want and stick it on your block, and it sticks really easy. I can line it up. And a lot of times with these little ink spots, it's easier just to pick it up and tap it this way instead of trying to go like this and get it around your whole your whole stamp. So just tap it around, and then you're just going to turn it over, make sure it's right side up, or just have some scrap paper just to practice on, get a feel for your block. They're all different thicknesses, and so some are easier to hold than others, but just you're just going to go straight down and straight up. You don't want to rock, you just straight down. And if it's a little bit bigger stamp, when you press down, when you go down on the paper, you can just kind of push right in the middle of the stamp to make sure all the ink's coming out good and lift straight up. And this ink is a little worn, so I'm going to put a different one in that's more juicy. Okay, and so that's how just the basic stamp. When you're done, it's very helpful if you have some wet wipes handy. If you don't, maybe just like a wet damp paper towel, and then wipe off your stamp with a wet wipe to keep it clean and not stained. Pull it off and put it right back where it was, and then your block is ready to go for another stamp. So same way, ink it up. Now if you do have an extra juicy ink pad and you get some ink on your block, just wipe it off before you stamp. If you don't see it and you stamp, you still should not get ink on your paper if you're just going straight down. is if you're pushing here or here, it's rocking, and any ink that's around it will get on your paper. But if you just go straight down and lift up, you should be good. Wipe it off. Be careful where you set, I'm just speaking from experience, be careful where you set your wet wipe after you wipe it off, because if you set it on your card base or something, it will ruin it. Okay, every kit, almost all kits are going to have what they call dimensionals. These are dimensionals. I call them pop dots. Your sheet might be smaller or bigger depending on how many you need for your project, but they're just dimensionals. They raise up the thing you're using. So it's sticky on the bottom. You're going to peel off the top layer, adhere it to your thing. Let me grab a thing. Here's a sentiment. Put it on your sentiment. You just one is plenty for this size even. And then stick it on your card base. Where's a card base? Let's pretend this is one. And it's just going to raise it up just a tiny bit, just to give it a little more dimension. Okay, and they stick pretty good. So, well, that one didn't. So that is a dimensional, and then they also will include at some times what they call adhesive dots. So this is what they're giving you in place of like a glue, a tape runner like this. So this is, you're going to peel off the top white one, and underneath is the sticky, round sticky part. Stick the round sticky part where you want it. It'll lift off the page, and now it's on here. And just put one on the other end, not with the dimensional, and then it will stick it down. If you have your own tape you want to use, of course, feel free to use whatever you want. And then everything else is pretty explanatory. So also please feel free just to do your own thing, gals. I mean, that's a creative hobby, so be creative. If I prefer just to follow instructions, but if your mind goes to a different way, like, oh, you know what, this will be good here or that, please, oh my goodness, do whatever you want. And also, if you don't want to do a sentiment that says what your stamp says, you want to do all hellos, then just do all hellos. And the hello would be too big on this one, but maybe just turn it sideways and stamp little design around it instead. So, you know, just get creative with whatever sentiment you want the most. Hello is great. I mean, especially if we're going to send them out to people in church. I'm definitely going to look at the birthday list and get some birthday cards made to go out also for those who have birthdays coming up. So anyway, if you guys have any other questions, please let me know. I think I explained everything. There is one more thing. Kyla, I forgot. Somehow your instructions got left here. So I will run these over to you tomorrow when I'm out delivering Lillian's package. Okie dokie. All right, gals. Love you.